Hello world, this is Douglas Edwards for News Buzz. Our topic today is the Rule of Seven. As I sat down to tell this story and recall some seemingly endless ways that 7 is perceived as a magic number that crops up every day, I was reminded that I was born at 7 a.m. on the 7th of the month on what is either the first or 7th day of the week, Sunday being the first day unless you work in broadcast or retail, where the weeks all start on Monday, and Sunday is the 7th day. It also seems that some early Christians moved the celebration of the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday, making it the new 7th day. So, I'm that Sunday child full of grace, although in older versions of the Scottish rhyme, the same child is bonny and blithe and good and gay, from back when gay just meant happy or carefree. With a recent op-ed feature in the New York Times, Harvard psychologist Daniel Gilbert argues that the magic of 7 is an accidental consequence of Emperor Constantine's arbitrary dictate that a week should have 7 days rather than 8. Dr. Gilbert also tells us that our obsession with 5s and 10s is due to the evolutionary coincidence that gives us 5 fingers on 2 hands that, taken together, incline us to count in these as multiples, thus the base 10 system. I'm good with blaming biology for the decimal system, but I don't know if Constantine's alleged deathbed conversion to Christianity or his calendar-making whim were influenced by the biblical obsession with 7s. In a variation on the chicken-egg argument, some biblical scholars assert that the weight of numerology influenced the use of 7 to represent events because it added weight as a kind of implied evidence that the stories were true. The first of Genesis 2 creation stories takes 7 days, including the 7th day, which God blessed and commanded us to keep holy as the Sabbath, in Moses' 10 Commandments. Egypt had 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine, and Jesus divvied up 7 loaves and 7 fishes to miraculously feed a multitude of followers. Of course, there's also the 7th son of the 7th son, and forgiveness 70 times 7. The apocalypse, or end times, are heralded by the opening of the 7th seal, which is also the title of an Ingmar Bergman film released in 1957. Before the Christians, and before them the Jews, became obsessed with 7, the Zoroastrians dictated 7 regions of the world and 7 different creations. One online expert claims to have helped more than 700 brands, yet most of us can't remember 7 brands in any category. According to Stanley Donen's CinemaScope musical, note too that the last CinemaScope film was released in 1967, there are 7 brides for 7 brothers. And Walt Disney's 1937 film tells us that Snow White had 7 dwarfs. There are 7 days in the week, and 7 deadly sins, and 7 heavenly virtues, and 7 sacraments of the Catholic Church. There are 4 sevens in my toll-free number, while James Bond's license to kill was number 007. But what moved me to action was a blog posting suggesting that the right price for a service is $7. The idea was that sellers of services or content would like to be compensated with many more zeros before the decimal point, but that a willingness to take only $7 showed there was more value than giving it away, but at a small enough price that the risk feels low enough for prospective consumers to check out your value. I'm willing to try, and an easy way for me to check out this hypothesis is to change the price of my 10-year-old book, Cowboy Religion. It's been 20-something in print and half that as an ebook. But now, it's yours for less than a Starbucks latte and scone. Starting today, Cowboy Religion is just $7 on Amazon for the Kindle or in iTunes for an iBook. You can help prove this thesis by buying now at the bargain price, or not. Just think. Timeless wisdom and a peek inside my head, all for only $7. And you can carry it anywhere with Kindle or iBooks. Well, thanks for listening. So long, happy trails till we meet again. This is Douglas Edwards, also known as Buzz Doug.